Come on, mate, watch this. Just watch my screen.
Watching.
Red. Oh, wait, I'm now green.
Wow. Such a gamer, man.
PlayStation Blue. Podcast recording white.
Brilliant. Hello and welcome to the Pick Up and Play podcast. This is episode 10 and we're ready for some Warzone chat, some absolute rubbish, some dubious news and some nonsense. If you're ready, then stick around. With me I've got Scott and James. Say hello, boys.
Hello.
Hello.
Scott, you could sound more enthusiastic. What's wrong?
Oh, I'm happy. That's my happy voice.
That's your happy voice.
Just generally a miserable old man.
Yeah, I'd hate to hear your sad voice.
This is episode 10.
Who would have thought we'd make it, boys?
Can you believe it's episode 10? I know. Still no listeners, but, it's fine.
I was absolutely certain by episode 10 we would have either quit, killed another party member, or just given up.
Well, we have lost a party member. Dan's not around anymore.
Well, it was always on the periphery anyway.
Yeah, I mean, he's not dead, but he's dead to us.
Yeah, mate. Yeah. Dan couldn't hack the PC at your Nang's gaff.
Anyway. So we've got a few things to talk about this week. Most exciting thing going on in terms of Warzone at the moment is that we've started doing tournaments, which basically is a kill race tournament for money. So how many kills can you get in an hour and a half in your best of 2 games? And it's been really fun, hasn't it?
It has. It's given us another reason to play in a way, because we were a bit sort of stumped. We were just trying to entertain ourselves really sometimes.
It's just added a new layer of stress to the game for
me. Well, that's interesting because I've got some opinions on what it's done. It has changed how I feel about the game as well. But I want to talk about the first time that Scott suggested that we do a tournament. I mean, the 4 of us are not particularly good at Warzone. Let's just say that much. Okay?
Well. My kill to death ratio is 0.77.
Point proven. And so when you first suggested that we should do a kill race tournament, the sort of things that you see streamers doing where they're getting 50, 60 kills between them, and they're betting hundreds of pounds and hundreds of dollars on these tournaments, and you suggested to us 4 chumps, that we should play one of these tournaments. We all thought you were mad, but
you did it anyway. Now, I will tell you my rationale. I was duped by the marketing of Z-League. And it said that you can be shit and win. That is what they said. Yeah. And it stands to reason we won and we are shit.
So Z-League is a website that runs Warzone tournaments. And the way they do it is that, well, their philosophy is that they want to run tournaments that anyone can play and that you're not going to be excluded based on your skill level. And you've still got a chance to win and a reason to play, even if you're as shit as we are. So what they do is they put you all together and they rank you in your skill, and they put you in leagues with people that are the same skill level as you. So all you have to do is beat the 10 teams in your league and you could potentially win some money. So once you'd explained that to us, Scott, we were ready to have a go at it, weren't we? And
they're free to enter. A lot of them are free to enter.
Yeah, they have free to enter tournaments where you could actually win real money. So, what more could we want? So we had a go at it, and even though it was free, and even though it's supposed to be skill based, we still weren't confident with ourselves, were we?
I'm confident with nothing at Warzone.
And this was back at the beginning of March when we did our first tournament. I think it was the end of February, actually. And somehow we surprised ourselves in that we won 2 games in a row and ended up winning our first tournament. So How did that happen?
Well, if we go back to that first session,
Hmm.
that first tournament, it's an hour and a half, and in that you've got to get as many games in as you can, and you've got to get as many kills as you can in the games, obviously. But they take your top 2 games, so it's no good getting 5 in one game, then restarting a 5 in another, and restarting. It's the top 2 games, and I
Mhm.
think in the first hour we played absolutely woeful. And we were all buzzing. I was jumping around, giving speeches and pep talks, and then after about 45 minutes, we were all shouting at each other, calling each other names, blaming one another for getting killed. And the pre-match lobby where you're waiting to load in was just silence. Absolute silence. And I was
Morale was an all-time low.
the only reason Conway didn't rage quit was because of the fact we were in a tournament.
Yeah.
And the match that we went on to win, the first one, was Conway. Were you throwing a massive hissy fit? Was that game where we were running across Millie Base?
Yeah,
We
yeah,
managed.
yeah.
Yeah, so I let Conway talk through what happened, but we embarked on we all got killed really early, and we embarked on this really uncharacteristic bounty hunting win to the point where we were hunting the other final team in the world's smallest circle. We were that bang out, and we won. We were competent.
Yeah, yeah.
I could have retired at that point. Gone out on a high. Like they should have left Only Fools and Horses. Just left then.
Yeah, so we were trying to be the type of players that we're not, basically, and we were hunting a bounty, and I ran round for the flank and just got killed on my own, and somehow Dan and James managed to wipe the team because
I was
you might be taking a piss out of me, Scott, but you weren't doing fuck all. You were hiding in town.
I'm a survivor. Got my Bear Grylls shoes on, and I survived.
Yeah, you did survive. Yeah, by hiding.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't go into the gulag though. No, I was already had my gulag. So we won that game somehow. It was we got 22 kills in that first game.
That we are massive. That was big.
Plus, you get 10 points for winning as well. So we got 32 points in that first game, and then we went on to win the next game as well, which also counted towards the tournament, which also put us to the top of the leaderboard, and we ended up winning the whole thing.
Can we just visit that back for a second? Because
Go on.
what you just said is we won 2 games on the bounce.
Yeah.
In quads.
Yeah.
That's never been done with us.
And we're not very good. There could be someone listening who's going, "What? Yeah, I've done that. It's easy." Like, but bear in mind, we are not very good. You've been playing this Warzone for every day for a year for hours and hours. Well, you must be really good at it. Ha! No. That's what you might think.
No, it was a really good tournament. Actually, the best part of it was obviously we won some money, and not a lot. It was like $30, which we split. But then you use that to enter another tournament if you want. And it's not like, once you've won some money, you can't enter another free one. You can just always enter free ones if you want.
Yeah. Our goal is to enter lots of different free ones, try and win a bit of money so we can enter a paid one without having to give our credit card details at all.
Yeah, we want to enter the big one.
Yeah. And then hopefully make a withdrawal when we hit the jackpot.
Yeah, when we make it big in Vegas.
So before we move away from that first win, I've just finished making the video for the Pick Up and Play podcast YouTube channel that shows the whole thing from the beginning of the tournament to the end. Hopefully you enjoy that. That will be up on the YouTube channel before this podcast. So go and search for that if you want to see it. It's really fun. But yeah, we've been playing tournaments every few days since then, haven't we? And we've been having varying levels of success, but not as bad as we would have thought. You know, we've won some credits in a few different tournaments so far, haven't we?
I have to say, you have to give credit to Z League because they say that, look, it is going to be properly skill-based and we will not tolerate hacking or cheating. And generally speaking, it has been. We've never once felt like, okay, not in the actual lobbies, like we get put in really hard lobbies, we're obviously going to get whooped. But in terms of the the actual league that we're put in, it's pretty fair. And what actually really, really helped me and what it made me want to play, other than the fact we won, was the second time we played, I think one of the teams was removed for cheating.
Yeah.
And that was great. So that they say they're going to throw people that won't tolerate it. And the first time or second time we played, they threw someone out.
Yeah.
And banned them from Z League. So yeah, it's great.
Yeah, we moved up a place, didn't we? Because the winners got taken out.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's really good. It's an hour and a half. The only criticism I'd have is I wish they put them at more accessible times because it's an American company. I wish they put them at more accessible times in the UK. I understand why they don't, probably because their gamership's probably American.
Yeah.
But we end up playing at 11 o'clock at night, which isn't that bad for us guys. When we go back to work, I sort of wish they were like 8 o'clock in the evening.
We've done a few that start at 5 in the afternoon, but that's a bit early. It's the perfect time would be like 8 or 9 to start, wouldn't it?
Well, I want to talk about, whilst we're on the subject of Z League, there's something I really want to talk about. And I'm sort of glad Dan's not here because I think we wildly disagree. Z League, when we're playing Z League, what are our tactics? Now we're playing Z League. Later.
Oh, here we go.
No. I'm going to put my argument forward, okay? And then you can rebuff me as much as you want.
Yeah.
I agree that we need to kill people. Obviously, it's a kill race. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think we're going to kill people really early on without our loadout. So my strategy is drop really far away, get the loadout, and then hunt everybody down. And go on those hunts because I'm much better with my guns. Croxham fared much better with his launches rather than trying to whip pistol rip fucking rose skins on the top of Superstore and we're all dead and then we're all in the gulag and but we might get 4 extra kills and then we'll come back and we're so far behind the game trying to get our loadout after that. Once we've done that, then we just go looking for a loadout. So we should do it first and then hunt. We're only going to lose a couple of minutes by doing that and then we're in a better position to go hunting those bounties because when we got that win, we had a loadout and we were hunting bounties. If we were hunting bounties with pistols and fucking RPD ground loot, we wouldn't have done it.
When we got that first win, we dropped on Superstore, all died and went to the gulag and then came back.
And reverted back to the tactic we would normally do.
Well, yeah, just tried to get back in the game, yeah. I disagree because the time constraint means that any time that you're spending not actively trying to get kills is time wasted, and it potentially could be massively time wasted because you could get your setup and then maybe you didn't get enough money, so then you've got to do another contract and then it's a few more minutes wasted, and then on your first engagement you lose and you're dead and you've lost all your loadout and all that time is completely wasted. Whereas the better option, I think, is to just get into the game, try and get some early kills so that you know that this game is worth pursuing till the end because you've already got the kills. Because you could pursue a game for 10, 15, 20 minutes without even seeing anyone, and that's a huge portion of the hour and a half that's gone.
I'm not suggesting we pursue that for 15, 20 minutes like camp to the top 10.
No, I know, but sometimes you can't even find people. What if you grab a bounty and then they're on the other side of the map? Okay, you can't see them. Then you put a UAV up and there's no one around, and then you're just running around trying to find people, and then they'll probably see you first.
Yeah, but that could be the same for anything. The amount of times we've dropped a boneyard, not seen anyone, put a bounty, and then it was the other side of the map because they all fucking was in the air still. So that's my opinion. Conway disagrees. What about you, Crocs?
I'm very, very firmly on the side of Conway here because going in too reserved, we waste that time. It's so tight. An hour and a half is such a small window.
So when
you consider pre-lobby load-ins, and if we do have to pull out of a game and get back in, that's another 2, 3, 4 minutes.
So what about placement points? So my argument is twofold, isn't it? I always say that we need to be a little bit more reserved in the opening minutes and get a loadout, then do all the pushing we want, and then I also think we need to make a decision. Go right. We need to hunker down for placement points because there was a point the other night when we were playing, and I was like, okay, it was like me and Conway or me and Dan left, and it was like, okay, what do we do? Do we camp to a top 10 and get like 4 or 5 placement points, or do we try and wipe another quad and do that? What's going to be more likely? And we already had notched up like maybe 12, 13 kills as a team. So what do you think? Do you think, because a couple of times we've lost out, haven't we, to placement points?
I mean, there's a turning point in the game where you are ticking down to team 14, team 13. At that point, it does switch your mindset slightly to let's get into them placement points, and then it's going to be a small circle. We can try and get in a few extra kills. But them the first 10, 15, 20 minutes of the game, it's got to be about the kills. And we are more hyped and we are more effective when we've got that run of kills behind us. We're a better team.
Because you want to just you want to go into it and say, right, in the first 5 minutes of the game, you either want 5 kills or to be dead, because
And
the
restart.
worst thing you can be is alive with no kills, because you're wasting time. At least if you're dead, you can start a new game, but you need to be trying to get those kills. And yeah, if you had all day, if it was like the best 2 games in a day, then yeah, you could probably just you know go about it a bit more methodically. But you've not got long. You've got to make sure
I wished
you've
I'd clipped something the other day so that we were playing. Were we in a quads when Dan was on his own at the end and he was in the on the river? He was on the lake at Dan, and he was sort of like 7th or 8th. And I was like, right, Dan, literally camp this out now.
yeah.
And he was
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
riverbed, he was on the lake, and he was laying by the rocks, and nobody knew he was there. And a quad come running across, and he just starts lifting his head up, taking pop shots at them
Yeah,
from like
yeah,
150 meters away with a fucking rifle. Like, what are you doing? And
yeah,
then he's like, "Well, Scott, we can't camp the whole time." And I was
yeah.
like, "You're literally earning points every second by not
Yeah,
being a twat here."
yeah. If he was here, he really should have been dragged to the Gulag Court for that, because yeah. Once we got into the top 10, every time a team dies, you're getting an extra point, and so you just got to try and get
Yeah.
as far through the top 10 as you can. And yeah, he was fine where he was. He was hidden between some rocks, but he
And
couldn't help himself.
he's playing a trio or a quad, and he's the only person alive. What's more likely, getting them kills or waiting for another 14 to kill another 14?
Yeah, yeah,
Exactly. And the thing is, like saying top 10, there's still a lot of people left. There's still going to be potentially another at least 5 or 6 teams of full quads running around. It could be another 30 teams fully squadded up, whereas we're on our own. There might be another 1 or 2 in with a duo left or whatever, but the chance you've really got is to make it to the top 3 or 4 sort of teams, and then you might be able to pick 1 or 2 off that are literally on their own, or their mates have been killed, or they're all spread out because they've got busted up by another team. Not do that. So Dan,
but yeah, so talking about how it's
Hmm.
changing our attitude towards Warzone, for me, it's making me enjoy it more, which is also meaning that I'm needing to play it less, if that makes any sense. So normally we would have a session and we'll go on at like 3 o'clock or 9 o'clock or something, and we'd be on for 3 hours probably. But these tournaments are an hour and a half, and because they're so intense, because there's like a lot of the time we're doing quite well, sometimes we're not, but either way, there's a defined start and finish, and like an end result that you can say, right, we came fourth in that tournament, or we won that tournament, or we did this, we did that. When we weren't playing in the tournament, you're constantly chasing that satisfaction of getting a win or getting a lot of kills or getting a high placement. And then if you don't get it, you play another game, you play another game, play another game. And so we were playing from like 9 o'clock till midnight or 1 in the morning or something. But I can play at 9 o'clock for an hour and a half and
enjoy
then
it.
Yeah.
think, yeah, I'm going to go off now. I'm quite happy. I've got what I needed from this, and I'm going to go and do something else. And
Yeah.
it
You're no
feels
longer,
much more. Go on.
yeah, you're no longer chasing that sort of hype and that high from
Yeah.
getting that win. You've got that result. You're happy. You can go to bed without running through your head for the next 2 hours.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's that. I don't know if it's how intense. I think it might be because it's so intense as well, that it's such a concentrated period of time that's so intense that it's just enough. It's enough adrenaline for the evening.
Yeah.
But also, I'm just thinking this now. Could it also be that it makes playing Warzone when you're not in a tournament feel like a waste of time? Do you know what I mean?
I do, yeah, I do get that, but I still get enjoyment just playing it. Like
Yeah,
I've been
I
like
do as well.
recently,
I
I've
mean,
been like leveling up new guns, and I wanted to try and use those. I've been mucking about the bullfrog and the stoner and stuff. So yeah, I still enjoy playing that.
yeah, we just have that little bit of this because we are so focused on the win and getting them points in the tournament. We can take that little step back, and Warzone outside of tournaments becomes that little bit more fun and carefree, where we can be a little bit stupid, or we can run stupid made up classes,
Yeah,
or stick a riot shield on a quad and see how far we go.
yeah. So there's a meme going around on in gaming circles that if anyone beats you, and they're not better than you, they've just got a better gaming chair. And and our Scott Jackson, our Pick Up and Play podcast host, has decided that he needs a gaming chair and a gaming setup and a gaming room in his 4-bedroom house. Tell us all about it, Scott, because I know you're dying to.
Right. I was sick of playing in the living room for multiple reasons, right? Number one, the dog.
Number one, the girlfriend.
The dog gets in the way.
Yeah.
Number two, streaming. The other week, I was trying to stream our tournament, and I couldn't. Reason being, was Hannah was fucking about with the dog on the floor and barking and ringing her mum and doing all sorts of shit.
How dare she do that in her living room?
No, this is the thing. It's not her living room. It's not my living room. It's our living room. And I was dominated by playing Warzone, so I need to go upstairs and just get out of the way. She was worried that I was going to turn into a hermit by just being in my room, my gaming room, like when I was 5 years old again. And that is semi-true. I have spent a lot more time upstairs. So I already had a little a semi-cell. We got a spare room there. Like I had a desk and stuff for my computer. I just put a decent TV on there and my PlayStation, and it's working great. Now the problem was that my chair is shit. Look at me wobbling about on it. It's not sturdy, and it's hurting my back. So I'm going to invest in a new chair. I'm going to treat myself. Now I thought my budget was around £150. It genuinely was, and I thought that was a lot for a fucking chair.
Mm-hmm.
So I went out and I did lots of research and lots of reviews. And all I found was that if you're a bigger chap like me, I'm 6'3" and I weigh a fair bit, they're not that well suited to you. They're made for 5'2" fucking people that look like a stick insect. And there's they invest all this money in the upholstery on the back of the chair, and it looks great and it's all funky, really nice design. Yet the base is made out of plastic. When you actually sit on the fucker, it breaks. So I thought, what's the point of spending 150, 180, whatever pounds on something that looks good, is broken, or will break after a certain amount of time? And I did all these reviews. So eventually, I just come to the decision: I'm just going to pay the money. I'm going to buy a Secret Lab chair. And it hasn't come yet, but I still think it's a good investment. It'll take my weight. It will look good as well. It's not neon colours or stupid stuff like that. It's just a nice chair, and that's what I want.
If this rant sounds like it's directed at anyone in particular, it's probably directed at Dan Jackson, who gave Scott some criticism for buying his Secret Lab gaming chair. Told him it was a waste of money, but no one here is criticising your decisions.
Right. But the thing, that's fine. And Dan, you will listen to this podcast. So you can listen to this bit. Today, I listened to you cheer because you're running on you was betting on horses at Cheltenham and telling me I'm wasting money. So I've gone out there. I've bought money in longevity, comfort, and it's my fucking money. He sent me some suggestions, right? This ex-rocker one-off Argos that you might get off, your mum for Christmas. She had no idea what she was buying because she went on a website and typed in gaming chair. This one looked all right. That's what Dan suggested. And this is meant to be someone who's part of a gaming podcast who knows what he's talking about. He's suggesting this crap. So what are your opinions? I've just gone out there and I've spent the money on something that I know is going to be good, it's going to work, it's going to look good, the same as all the other chairs, and it's going to be comfortable and it's going to last.
Yeah, I've got no problem with this. I know you're going to get a lot of use out of it. So you're going to spend a lot. You're going to spend a lot of hours sitting on that thing. So it might as well be comfortable. This
one I've got now is like a £50, right? And I can feel it breaking. It's literally wobbling around underneath me now, like a pinata. I am on it. It's a joke. It's comfy.
When your new chair arrives, can we get a video of you breaking that chair? Just bouncing on top of it.
I'm just going to throw it out my window. I'm going to just pick it up, go, fuck off, throw it out the window. You can get out and all with the box.
We have been promised a unboxing video from Scott of your new chair. So hopefully a section of that video can be you yeeting your other one out the window.
Maybe as like a little caveat, so I can do a reboxing of this chair and throw it in a fucking bin. Piece of useless trash. I need to do a review of this chair, to be fair, on Argos and tell people don't buy it.
Scott, you have requested time on the podcast to have a little rant, to have a little moan about this week's topic, which is streaming on the PlayStation.
Yeah. Right. Streaming on the PlayStation is shit. They've just made this console. How can it be So you can link it to your Twitch account or your YouTube account, right? And we stream on our YouTube account, mainly because no fucker follows us on Twitch, even if we did start it. So we started streaming. Now you can see the little window where you can see yourself back, which is quite handy when you first start. Like, oh, like where am I? How do I look? Like, you know, what are other people going to see? And then you can't remove it.
So you're talking
then,
about the little window that shows your face.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's in the screen when you're playing. I want it to be like basically behind it, still there doing it, recording, but you can't on PlayStation. They're just like, no, sorry, can't do that.
Yeah.
So it can't stream without showing me that stupid little box.
Yeah.
And the problem is with Warzone. Well, I can't have it in the top left because what's up in the top left? That's the kills. And how many people are left? No, that's the map. That's the HUD. I can't have it in the bottom left because that's my ammo.
Yeah.
I can't have it in the fucking middle of the screen
because that's where your enemies are.
Yeah, exactly. And I can't have it in any of the other. So I can only have it in one little corner. It's really annoying. That's about it, really.
Yeah, it's kind of not set up to be like. It's clearly not set up to be a professional streaming service, is it?
Yeah, but it should. They've just made it. It's the 21st century.
It doesn't seem like that. Having that option to hide the self camera doesn't seem like it'd be a massive engineering effort, you know.
just a fix.
Yeah, they're not going to have to, go back to the research and development department
and scratching their heads together. I didn't think of that before we sent out 1 million bloody boxes of it. But I bought this HD camera, right? I might as well throw it in the sodden bin.
Yeah, you didn't buy it. I think you bought it by a family member, wasn't you? I think your uncle got it for you.
Oh, all right. Well, yeah. Somebody paid money for it.
Yeah, I know. No, the point being that, like, if you were serious about like streaming, you'd get your own like proper setup when you're in a capture card and all that sort of stuff.
So what you're saying is go fuck yourself.
No, what I'm saying is, you've seen there's a streaming option on the PlayStation, and you've gone, oh, I'll just switch that on. That seems like a good idea, but they've not set it up for any real use, like proper
exactly.
use.
What use is it? It's just effectively, it's not use. There's no use. You can't. You stream poorly, and you can't record yourself. You can't actually record yourself on there. So, and even when you capture your screen, like like when you you clip a video, it won't capture the bit of you in the corner.
Right, so it wants it both ways, isn't it? So it can take the camera away when it wants to record when it wants to make a file of the recording, but it won't let you hide it when you're just playing.
Exactly. Like if I did something brilliant or something really stupid, I wanted to watch my reaction.
Yeah,
you can't do that. I might as well have a PS2 iToy. I might as well just wash the windows.
That was such a
when I'm cleaning windows. Yeah.
iToys. Oh, that was funny.
That was revolutionary when that came out. And do you know what else? Whilst I'm on it, the other little thing that came out when the place Buzz. That was brilliant and all.
Yeah, that could be. Do they still make Buzz? Because that'd be a good night of fun, like especially on party chat and stuff.
No, they don't.
Do they really not?
Yeah, it was really, really, really good. The only thing is, there's a game. I don't know if it's online, but there's a game called. Oh fuck me, what's it called?
Is this the one we've played, Scott?
Yeah. Knowledge is power. That's what it's called, and that's how he announces it. And it's a little bit like Jackbox, but it's a quiz, and it's really funny, and it's really quite good. But you have to all be on the same Wi-Fi. But it's good for like a games night, and it's a quiz, and it's silly. Yeah. It's interactive. It's pretty good. But that is how he announces it. Knowledge is power.
So streaming on the PlayStation 5 can go
fuck off,
basically.
Yeah.
In conclusion,
that's going out the window and all, along with this chair.
Crocs, I was thinking we could have your dubious news now. How about that?
That sounds like a good plan to me. Crocson's dubious news disclaimer. All news stories are rumour and not to be taken as fact. All comments should be taken as such and likely nothing more than ramblings and nonsense, much like this disclaimer.
Thank you for that, Crux. I was thinking of suing, actually, because of some of your dodgy news, but because of that disclaimer, I just know I've got no leg to stand on.
I'm looking after everyone here.
You're looking after yourself, mate. You just don't want to see yourself.
You're looking after the podcast.
That's it. Look after the podcast. Podcast will look after you.
That's right.
Yeah. So we will kick off with something that's actually been confirmed since I
Hold
posted
on,
this up.
that's not dubious enough for this news, is it?
Well, I'm laying the foundation. Some things are dubious, some things have been proven to be fact. Like last week's weather report, Scott.
Yeah.
After Scott's mad ramblings about there being weather and it being affecting the game and him being upset, what do we see 2 days later? A
Fucking
lovely thunder
thunderstorm.
cloud. So
Yeah, but it's now gone.
Dubious. It's not all dubious.
It's now gone. There's no point.
It was never. It wasn't a thunderstorm that actually affected anything in any way. Like I remember that on last week's podcast, Croxon, you were saying, "Oh yeah," because like you could see the thunderstorm coming and go, right, this is our chance to go because the visibility is reduced. But all it was just a cloud out in the sea that you could see.
No
What's
effect
the
on your game,
point?
mate. Ominous cloud.
No point. Stupid.
So leading on to what was leading on from that thundercloud was the zombies arriving in Verdansk and
Right.
them arriving in the shipwreck, and
Yeah.
then they moved on to the prison. The dubious-ish part of the news was they were next moving on to Scott's favourite place, hospital,
Really?
which is now actually since the last update, which came through at 5 o'clock this evening. It's happened. They're now at hospital.
But are
What?
they now?
I definitely won't be going there.
But so are they just at hospital? Are they moved away from prison now?
They've moved away from prison. They're now moving towards the centre of the map. There's been a high alert posting, like a little news story posted from Activision, the Call of Duty Twitter, which is called a high alert, where it was a medium alert when it hit prison.
So we've been waiting for a change to the Warzone map for a while, and we finally got one recently in between the last podcast and this podcast. And what it was, as Coxon just said, was that zombies turned up on a boat. They're sailing the seven seas, these zombies, and they turn up.
Yeah.
And there's a new location in Verdansk. It's called Shipwreck, and there's zombies there. There's no zombies anywhere else on the map, but there's just on this ship. And
They should have just taken over everywhere.
Well, yeah, and then there's these little machines all around the map that are saying 5% zombie infection. And we're all thinking, well, there's like 20 sections to this map, so surely like that 5% is going to go up to 10%, and 20%, and 30%, and more of the map's going to get taken over. And 2 weeks went by with it being at Shipwreck, and nothing had changed. And the next thing we know, they've now moved from Shipwreck to prison.
Yeah, the zombies have
left
decided
Shipwreck. They haven't.
Yeah, they've upped sticks. They've moved house. They've moved base camp.
Yeah. So our theories of them taking over the whole map slowly, one by one, is not quite right. They're more on a kind of pilgrimage, aren't they? They're on a journey towards the centre of the map. They're migrating. Yeah.
Are they migrating to Dan?
I mean, if you were going from Shipwreck to the middle of the map, you wouldn't go via prison.
Surely they're going to migrate to the they're going to migrate to the hull, where all those machines are underground and blow things up.
What, Wookiee Hole?
Or do you mean the nuke, the new nuke hubs?
Well, I thought they was going to. There's all that machinery down in the hull underneath the airfield. I thought they were going to go down there and blow up all the nukes.
So for
the zombies have got the nuke codes, have they?
No, they just go around and press all the buttons like like in Dexter's Laboratory, where the sister's like, "Woo!" What was her name? BB or whatever.
DD, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, DD.
So are they heading up to Dam? Are they heading into Wookiee Hole?
But they're going that way.
Yeah. For listeners' benefit, Wookiee Hole is the stupid name we've given for the hole in the middle of the airfield. Just for anyone who is listening who knows the maps.
We're from Essex, and there's a place called Wookiee Hole in Essex somewhere.
No, there isn't. There's a place called Wookiee Hole in Somerset.
In Somerset, sorry. Don't worry, no one will know I got
Someone
that.
ain't been there.
No, exactly. I ain't been to Wookiee Hole. Because we're British and there's a place called Wookiee Hole in Britain.
Yes, that will do.
What was I going to say? So this zombie invasion. Now that I think about it, it does make more sense that they're not actually taking over every area of the map because
It's not so
you
much
turn.
invasion; it's a march.
It's a march, yeah. It's a
It's a very
protest, isn't
small
it?
protest.
Yeah, they're marching for zombie rights. um, if it was the case that the game slowly became 100% invested with zombies, it would be a totally different game, and that's not why people turn on Warzone. They turn on Warzone to play against 150 other players. If they wanted to play zombies, they would turn on zombie mode on Cold War. So actually, it kind of makes sense to me that the whole map's not getting taken over by zombies at the same time. I
Do
just
you
wish there
think?
was something more interesting going on with this, or like something clear that was
Do you
happening.
think the developers have had this in the back of their mind the whole time, or do you think it's like like a show like Lost, where like they change like showrunners all the time and then they pull it in another direction? Do you think this was always the plan, or it's like, oh yeah, now let's open up the stadium? It's like, yeah,
Yeah,
that makes no fucking sense. Like
I
the
think it's
boat.
all. I get the feeling that it's quite reactionary to the success of Warzone,
Yeah.
and I think I know one thing we haven't talked about is I think that Warzone has benefited so much from lockdown because it came out last March, coincidentally when the the British
A week
lockdown started,
before official lockdown happens, yeah.
and certainly for us, it has enabled us to play far more Warzone than we ever would have otherwise. And I'm sure that's the case for many other people as well. So, no, I don't think that this is part of the master plan that they had from the start, Scott. I think it's all a reaction, especially the Cold War integration. That seems to me to be, oh, Warzone's doing really good. Shit, if we release a new Call of Duty game and don't have anything to do with Warzone, we're going to lose a lot of money. So let's chuck it all
Yeah.
in.
Yeah. What else you got for us, Croco?
Yeah. I just to trickle back into that, I'm with it going and staying at 5% and this slow march, like peaceful
Yeah,
march
that's the
for
thing I was going to
zombies.
ask. So
Are we
when it
going
was
to
at
get?
prison, did it still say 5% on the machine?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, we checked it
Yeah,
out. It still
yesterday.
said 5%.
Just me and Dan did it yesterday.
So it probably still says 5% now that it's at the hospital. So what does the 5% mean?
Does
Nothing.
that mean fuck
Yeah.
all? Because I don't think things through.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But these machines in with 5% and mislead them all. We're doing with a big rain cloud.
Yeah, that's what got people signing in for the rain clouds. Yeah, but yeah, this is what worries me: is we're getting drip fed these little snippets of the event. And it goes on and on and on, and we're not going to get a new map or any sort of big event until season 3.
No,
Which
that's
is
not. Yeah, that's. There's going to be a new map in season 3. I think. I do
yeah,
think it's coming.
We've
There's
been
loads of
saying
rumors.
that every season.
No, there's loads of rumors about it now. There's that Croxton should have done some data mining.
Get off your ass, Croxton. Fucking hell. Get your
Yeah,
pickaxe out.
there's loads of reviews. Loads of reviews. There's loads of like inside scoop on it now, isn't there? It's
Yeah,
going
I
to be
know,
a
but then
250 person battle
yeah, but
royale.
last week they were saying, oh, because March 12th is the was it March 12th is the 1 year anniversary of
And they're going to
Warzone. Everyone was like, oh, that's when it's going to happen. That's when the new map's coming. And a 1 year anniversary came and went, and hardly a peep from Warzone. Nothing happened. There was a little message on the front page saying, "Happy 1 year, thank you for playing." And it's like I was watching a YouTube video where they were talking about comparing what Fortnite did on their 1 year anniversary. They had like a huge event, like loads of things going on, and like you couldn't fucking miss it that it was 1 year. And if you just casually play Warzone, you wouldn't have a clue that it was a
Yeah,
1 year
yeah.
anniversary.
Fortnite went out of this massive firework bang, and
Yeah.
Warzone did a fart.
well,
A wet
so
fart.
by a comparison,
Tried to hide
Yeah,
it.
by a
sorry
comparison,
about that.
Fortnite have done like a massive like monster versus robot fight, which you can fly
Mm.
around and watch. They've done a Travis Scott fucking live concert with Marshmello,
Yeah.
which is just outside the realms of anything that's been done in a game before. I think it's the chief officer of relations or whatever it is, a COR of Activision, has said recently, like in the last week, that they are gearing up and there is going to be Fortnite-like events, without saying Fortnite exactly, coming to Warzone very soon. That tells me it's not going to be coming in Cold War's lifetime. I don't trust that there's going to be anything interesting coming in the next 3 or 4 seasons.
Yeah, every time there's a season, it's like, oh.
Well, you don't think there's going to be a new map?
I think there's going to be a new map, yes. I mean, I think it's going to be based around the Fireteam maps that are already out there, which convey the collection of 3 maps that they have in the Zombies Outbreak mode we played.
Yeah, I don't think they look great, to be honest. They look like cartoons.
They just need to make a new map, right? Make a new map. Do it in that jungle thing they was talking about, or whatever. Make a new map.
Don't know how many times we have to say it. Make a new map. But yeah, they're talking about, with a bigger map, being able to bump it back up to a 200 without it feeling like the sweatiest experience ever. Like they
yeah,
had Warzone Extreme or Battle Royale Extreme, whatever it was.
Yeah. There's a million people all in the same one. What a stupid idea. We'd be there 4 years. What? Trying to kill people.
Yeah, superstores like Tesco just before lockdown.
Yeah, just no toilet roll. There's no. All there is stim shots. Decoy grenades knocking about.
Brilliant.
And then another little rumor that's flying around around the live. Like the live event, what the end of Verdansk looks like. A lot of people saying once Verdansk is done, it is done with. We're not going to be able to go back to it.
Yeah, good. Fuck it off.
I'm going to have some fun memories there. It's not like
a
postcard, but
that's what we should do. We'll make a compilation video when it's gone and when it's all blown up, right? And now the time of my life, and we're all like running.
There should be it just cuts to all of us dying and going, "Fuck's sake, fuck it hell, fuck
this game."
Yeah, we'll make it. I think that would be good. You can't have it installed on there and then another map installed. My PlayStation can't handle it.
No one's can. No,
even
you're right.
PS5 can't handle it. Yeah.
I think it's interesting to think about is that we have got used to this map to the point where we know it back to front.
There's no new area.
We know, apart from hospital, we know everywhere.
Hold on, no, Scott. We played a game yesterday, and can you try and remind me what area we was in? But we were running around. It was just you and Dan left.
Right.
And
Who was in the prison?
You were going, I don't know this place. I don't know this area.
I don't. Oh, we don't go there. We went to the prison. It was the final circle, and the circle was moving at the end, and I was hiding in the little rooms and managing to get there. And then I could get into the bottom bit. I don't know what the pit area. I don't know if I can call it.
Yeah.
In the basement, and he was like, and Dan just says, "Go down there." And it's like, well, that's not very descriptive, is it? Go down there. So I obviously missed a turn and died in the gas. And he's like, Scott, you could have gone down. I was like, I said about 5 times before we went there, I don't know this area. And that's what fucks me off. Go down there. Things like these really unhelpful comments. Go down there. People over here. What's that mean? Let's go down there, but don't tag where they're going. Enemies on the roof. What roof? Which one?
And guys, if you are listening and you want to hear this sort of nonsense gameplay live, you should watch one of our streams.
Yeah. And you'll hear me whinging about the fucking stream. Our stupid little iToy camera.
The iToy. You can't refer to that thing as the HD PS5 camera anymore.
It's not HD.
It is the iToy.
Yeah, I could think of a few things. HD. Anyway, sorry.
Have you got more news, Crocs? Or is that
one more bit? And it's linked to the destruction of Verdansk, and apparently there's going to be, once the nukes land, which is weird because why the nukes are going to get set off, which we already know they're in the
they're going to get sent
bunkers.
Off from here,
they're going to get
then up, back down,
and then you go back down again. I'm sure about that.
The Big Dipper and
failure to launch.
Yeah, but apparently it's going to hit some sort of volcano that we don't know about the location of in Verdansk. But it's
an invisible volcano.
It's going to awaken a volcano somewhere.
Fuck off!
And there's going to be lava spilling out everywhere. It's going to be
the floor is lava. The floor is lava.
We get an actual way of playing with the floor is lava, Scott.
Yeah. Well, do you know what? This is annoying me because I don't understand. Like these really technological nukes all buried underground. Meanwhile, they've got a rickety old railway line. It's built out of wood like it was Wild Wild West. And I want them to change all the vehicles in the next game.
What do you mean?
None of these big trucks, new ones. I want a fire engine where you can go up the ladder and get on a building. I want a hovercraft. I want different a motorbike
Well,
maybe.
a hovercraft might be a good idea because there might be different terrains that you have to.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
across.
Motorbike, push bike.
Motorbike would be interesting.
I'm running around for dance got a BMX.
I'll pick up this push bike and pedal my way over to the volcano. My tyres have melted because the floor is lava.
Okay. Well,
That's
thanks for
me.
your dubious news, Croxon. The longest running and most consistent feature, and I think a fan favourite as well.
Oh, you're welcome.
The last thing we want to talk about before we get to the end is the skill-based matchmaking. So skill-based matchmaking, for anyone that doesn't understand, for anyone that's not familiar with it, is the way that Warzone decides what match to put you in, and it is supposedly decides what match to put you in based on your skill level, and it tries to put you in a lobby that is appropriate to your skill level. Now, there's a website called sbmm.com, skill-based-matchmaking.com, that tells you exactly what kind of lobby you have. So they've got a ranking system that's from bronze, silver, gold, diamond, platinum, diamond, and it tells you how skilled your lobby is. And if you listen to the beginning of this podcast, we made it very clear that we're not very good at Warzone. And so, but despite that, we will often find ourselves in platinum and diamond lobbies.
How?
Well, we don't know, but
Sorry.
it's really strange how it works, because you would think that it would, try and put you in a gold or silver lobby, and then when it can't, it puts you in a diamond one, which is fine. That's you don't. The worst thing is waiting for a game and not being able to play one at all. So I'd rather be in a diamond than not playing at all. So I understand that, but we have been analysing our lobbies for a while, because every time we play a session, you can go on, you can say, the last 5 games were this kind of lobby, and it always goes in a trend. We'll always have a session that's either all silvers and golds and maybe one platinum, or it will all be diamonds and platinums.
Yeah.
It never seems to be like a complete mix. Like, you never have like a silver lobby in the same session as you had a platinum lobby. It just doesn't, or diamond lobby. It just doesn't work like that. So what seems to be what that means is, for us, is that we log on and we don't know what kind of session we're going to have, because when we're in the really hard lobbies, it's really not that fun of a game.
It's awful, full of rose skins.
Yeah, and we're just dying too much. Yeah, you might say we'll just get better at the game, but we're trying. But
there's an element of responsibility on fucking Warzone to help.
Yeah, and the reason I wrote this down as something to talk about was because it's starting to occur to me how much the kind of lobbies that you're getting in that session can make or break that session. So we've recently had, in the last 4 or 5 days, I feel like we've had sessions that have been so much fun, and they've been majority gold division lobbies,
and we've done all right. We haven't won them all.
No, we haven't won them all. No, we're certainly not. No, we've maybe won one in a session, and then got some high finishes, but we're not dominating these places. We're certainly not like top, big fish in a little pond. It feels like we're where we should be. We win fights that we deserve to win, and we lose ones that we deserve to lose. But yeah, other times when we get put in lobbies that are diamond and platinum, it's just unplayable.
It's just unplayable. People with trigger packs on their controller and jumping around and drop shotting me. Meanwhile, I'm still just standing there in the corner with my pistol up.
Like hard aiming down a street. Yeah, I mean, just for a bit of comparison, like the other day, we were sat in Diamond 1 lobbies. Now, Diamond 1 is the highest lobby you can place yourself into. And it's the one these pro streamers who are in 25, 75 grand tournaments playing. Yeah. And there's little old us who can't even get a 1 kill to 1 death average on our game sometimes. Sat in them tournaments.
But the thing is, it just shows you that, yes, skill-based matchmaking does exist. And yes, also Activision don't do it very well or properly, and they just go, "Oh well, we've done a little bit of it," and you go in there then.
Yeah.
And that's what it feels like. And it's like, well, is it on kill to death? Is it on wins? Is it on because how can we be in platinum for 1 minute and then you're in fucking silver? That make no sense. It's like, oh, hold on a minute. You know your football club, yeah, they're in League Two, but every now and again they've got to play Premiership. Yeah, you're at Rotherham this weekend, but then the game after you're at Man City away. What? Makes no sense. No, I'm always at Rotherham. Leave me there.
Like, we win some, we draw some. Sometimes we're going to lose. That's okay.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's like nonsense, to be honest with you. And it's not according to who's online. There's always fucking hundreds of thousands of people online. So we should just be like, right, this is where you're at. You're a gold person, and then just put all the golds.
This is an interesting point. If they said to you, right, we can guarantee you appropriate lobbies for your skill level every time. The trouble is, it will take between 5 and 10 minutes to find each game.
Yeah,
would you take that?
Yeah.
I think I probably would, just because of how demotivating, I can't think of a better word for it, but soul crushing it is to be in diamond and platinum lobbies constantly. I think I would take that, yeah.
Yeah, I would, because the amount of times we're wasting the fucking diamond game dying anyway. It's like absolute terror running around for 10 minutes until eventually someone spins around a corner and no-scopes me. Whereas yesterday, we got killed. We were running along. We were by our roof of Chaos, which is down the lower part of the map, the high-rise buildings, just before you cross over the river. There's a fire station there. And we were running along there, coming up towards the river. And then some cunt, right, just mounted on a wall in a garage on his own, thirsting people. And he was definitely going to die. He had no intentions, and then he quit. And I uploaded a video yesterday, and this is the sort of thing that really winds me up. People thirsting people, even though they know they can't win. And I uploaded a video yesterday to my YouTube channel that probably no one's seen. And I was downed as the gas was pushing in, and the guy came in to try and melee first me. Right? And he died in the gas doing that whilst I was self-reviving and then run away as he died. The only thing he was trying to do was first one kill. That's it. That's the sort of toxicity that needs to get out. It's also the sort of thing I would do as well.
Yeah.
Well, kills are hard to come by when you got my fucking kills to death ratio.
Yeah, exactly.
One kill is massive. Maybe he's the same as me. Maybe he's just like us. This is all a stupid thing we would do.
I know. I was listening to that rant there, Scott, and I was thinking, yeah, I'd do that.
Also, just whilst we're on rants, right? I know this is the end of the podcast. Rose skins, right? The big thing as a protest at the minute, isn't it? About protest the rose, whatever they call it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm fully on board. Where it's fuck the rose skin, basically, for two reasons. One, they're too dark. You can't see them running about. Especially in like dark areas like down Wookiee Hole, for example, or in a gulag, it's much harder to see them. They've got a smaller hit area, and everyone that wears that skin's a cunt. So I think they should get out. What do you think? Get rid of that skin. That's why I want the new map so much. I want to explore new places, I want to do all that, but I want to get rid of the rose skin.
Apparently the reason that because there are other dark skins. But the reason the rose skin is the most popular is because it's got such a slim. It's a female figure, so it's got a slim hitbox, or it might have the same hitbox as all the other characters, but it's got a slim body that you can't necessarily that you can see, so you might miss it more often than not. The trouble is with the Activision have got themselves. They've backed themselves into a corner here because
you paid for it.
Well, it was season. I don't know what season, but one of the season's battle passes, it was the last
level
thing on the
100,
battle pass,
yeah,
level 100 for the battle pass, and a lot of people pay to unlock the entire battle pass immediately rather than earning it. And so, if they've done that specifically to get the rose skin, and then Activision take it away, they would have a good case for
Give me my money back. That's a bit stupid, really, isn't it, on Activision's part?
It was The one thing I think they could do is potentially lighten the skin.
Yep, absolutely.
To make it like a dark grey rather than a pitch black.
Yeah, make it high vis.
And the other thing they could do, which wouldn't have anything to do with the actual skin itself, is just to make sure that there are so many fewer dark corners. Basically, make the lighting better in Warzone, because stairwells and like in the corner of aircraft hangars and stuff like that. Those are the dark places.
Yeah.
That's where they can hide and not be seen. And
genuinely, when you're going upstairs in some of the buildings, like the normal standard building with like the two ladder ends, when you cannot see them in the stairwell.
Yeah,
you cannot see them in the stairwell.
It's true.
Anyway, protest the rose.
Protest the rose. Hashtag protest the rose. But what is the protest though? Is anyone actually doing anything in particular?
Yeah, fuck the rose skin.
No,
Right,
so
but that's
everyone is
just saying
trying
something.
to. Everyone is.
That's what most protesters are.
Everyone who is doing Protest the Rose is bringing out their most colourful, ridiculous characters.
Yeah.
So all the best funny scenes. So, for example, our dear friend Dan Jackson is running a character at the moment with a bright pink jumper and bright blonde hair.
Yeah.
And that's a popular one at the moment because it is bright and you can see it coming a fucking mile off.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what we should do. Right, skill-based match lovers. Anyone wearing rose skin, you go in your own game. Yeah, play each other. We just do that.
Rose skin only.
So you're suggesting some sort of segregation.
Yeah, bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, rose skin.
Do you know what? It's quite funny though. Sometimes you do get people playing as a rose skin that are dog shit. That's really funny.
Yeah, like me if I was put one on. Oh, it's a rose skin.
The last thing we want to talk about is quite a big thing, actually. We are planning to change the name of our podcast. And episode 11 of this podcast will more than likely be under a different name. The reason for this is that when we started this podcast, we just wanted to chat about games with our friends. And I think Scott came up with the idea of the Pick Up and Play podcast, which is, I have to say, very alliterative and sounds very nice. And it is, and I do like it as a name. The trouble with it is that this podcast, if you're listening to this and you've listened to more than one episode, you'll know, is that we are basically a one game podcast. We only talk about Warzone. And if you're seeing the name of our podcast and you are thinking about what it might contain, you might think that it's about handheld gaming or sort of mobile games or
gaming
something
in general.
Very, very, very casual gaming. And we've decided that we want to rename the podcast to better reflect what we actually talk about, which is Warzone.
Nonsense.
Which is specifically Warzone. That's not to say that we will only speak about Warzone. We obviously always go off on tangents and talk about all other manner of things, but we've decided we want to make it clear that we are a podcast that talks about Warzone, so that anyone who is looking for that can find it. We are fulfilling a niche of sorts.
Very niche.
Yeah, and. Yeah, that's basically the reason. What do you think about the name change? I should say, actually, what we're changing the name to before we say that. So we're going to change it to the Lovely Warzone podcast or Lovely Warzone. And that might sound very strange to you.
Lovely Warzone podcast.
Lovely Warzone.
Exactly. That's exactly what I needed. I needed a soundbite of our resident Scott Jackson here telling us about that. So go on, tell us your thoughts and speak about that.
Go on, Crocs. You can go first. I always interject.
Oh, thank you very much. So,
anyway, what I think
is... Sit down, shut up. So, Conway outlined it really well, but the way in which we host this podcast and what we actually talk about evolved very rapidly when we ran out of new games to try or us wanting to try, that we had to steer it towards this direction. And no one's hearing the current name is going to know a Warzone podcast or even a Call of Duty podcast or a console podcast. So it's kind of necessary, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I think that I'm sad to let the name go because I really like it and I made it up. And I thought of all other sorts of names, but I think the Lovely Warzone podcast is probably the best way to go because it's something stupid that I say all the time.
Yes, exactly.
And it does reflect it. I did think about, we could call it the Pick Up and Play Warzone podcast. And it wasn't too much of a change, but I do think Lovely Warzone has got a nice ring to it, and I've seen the artwork and it's really good. So I'm looking forward to changing over because I think it will reflect better what we actually do.
Yeah, I do agree. And can we get a few a few sound bites to Scott? Have you where this
Yes.
Lovely Warzone thing comes from? Because just to say before you do it, that the reason it's called Lovely Warzone Podcast is because it reflects us as a group of idiots and what we like to joke about. One of the things that we always do and always say is we put the word lovely before anything. So, you know, right, I'm going off for my dinner. Oh, lovely dinner.
Yeah. Or in between a game, we'll have someone will just sip their orange juice, go, lovely orange juice.
Lovely orange juice.
Lovely orange juice.
Lovely dog.
Yeah. Lovely Warzone.
That's it. That's what I need. Yeah. So I think it always makes me laugh when we talk about Lovely Warzone because it is something we talk about. We haven't plucked this out of our ass, pulled this out of our ass, but it's just the ridiculousness of we're all playing this game, which is kill as many people as you can, go around murdering everyone, and we're all playing it and going, lovely Warzone.
I want to at the end of the game we go, lovely loadout.
Oh, lovely loadout.
Oh, lovely red box.
So, Lovely Warzone, the podcast, is coming soon.
Yes. The Lovely Warzone podcast is coming soon, and we might have, I don't know, the odd guest on. We might have a few quizzes back, and we might have some more Gulag Court.
Yeah, we definitely will have some more Gulag Court. At the minute, there are a distinct lack of cases. I wouldn't say we've been behaving particularly well. I don't think that's the reason. I think the reason more is that everybody's been so bad that no one can stand to take anyone particularly into court.
Lack of evidence.
Yeah.
So the one last thing to say is to the podcast, actually, we love you. We love your name. Lovely name.
Lovely podcast.
Lovely name, but just not sustainable.
So we've had a great time for the first 10 episodes of the Pick Up and Play podcast, and we welcome the next 10 of Lovely Warzone.
Lovely Warzone.
Lovely Warzone.
Lovely Warzone.
Lovely Warzone.
This is the way you've got to say is the Lovely Warzone podcast.
Lovely Warzone podcast.
Brought to you by Zencast.
Brought to you by Zencastr.
Brought to you by Audible.
Brought to you by Z League.
Sponsored by Secret Lab Gaming Chairs.
Sponsored by Brantano Footwear. Anyway, that's not going to make the cut. That was just funny.
No, that's a cold close right there.
Yeah. Well, thank you, boys, for joining me on this podcast. It's been a lot of fun, and see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.